So let's pretend that you ate McDonald's for one day, just one day. This is how much sugar you'd eat compared to how much you should eat. This is how much salt you would be eating. Compared to how much salt you should eat. And this is how much fat you'd eat compared to how much fat you should be eating.
So how do we let it get this far? Ann Baker, a nutritional therapist from Rochester, explains why childhood obesity has gotten out of control.
Well, I think going back, the problem really started with, first of all, when they stopped making physical education 5 days a week mandatory program. That was one thing that happened. Going back even further, I think that the USDA food pyramid, which I have here, is flawed. And this is the basis for all of the school food programs. In the schools, as I said, because they're basing all their food programs on this, they're feeding mostly carbohydrates from these kind of grains, not enough fruits and vegetables. Most of what they get is very processed. You know, it's not a lot of fresh stuff. It's good if you can get a salad bar. So a lot of times for the poorer of our community, this might be the only meal that those kids get. And if they're being served, you know, breaded chicken McNugget type things and pizza, you know, and eating very little vegetables, you know, I don't know if you recall, but the big thing was low-fat, high-carb eating. And about that same time, we started to notice obesity and diabetes type 2 skyrocket. The other thing that's happening is the food industry, the commercial food industry, not just, you know, McDonald's and the fast food industry, but the whole food industry at large has gone to such quick processing and such harvesting of production of animals that they're fattening them up quicker. But with the single parents, you know, they've got a challenge because some of them are working on one-maternal jobs, which you can relate to. You know, they're trying to be a good parent. They're exhausted. So what are they doing? If they can go to the drive-thru and they can get, you know, they can feed the family for $7 as opposed to going to the grocery store and maybe spending like, you know, $45 or $100 or $200 when they're not making that much money. Maybe they're only making $10 an hour or maybe even $15. That's pretty hard when, you know, you've got your house payment or your rent, you know, you've got your car payment, your insurance, utilities, clothes for the kids, whatnot.
At McDonald's, a double patty hamburger costs $1. 8 homemade hamburgers cost $2 each, which is still more money than to get hamburgers from McDonald's.
We've read the facts. We've heard the problems. Now what can we do to fix it?
A pronged approach to all of this. I think that we need to bring back PE in the schools. And I think it needs to be every single day. And it needs to be from kindergarten through 12th grade. The second thing I think we need to do is we need to completely throw this out because this is wrong. We really need to talk about the healthful food paradigm, okay? And we need to base creating school lunch programs on the healthy food paradigm, not this. Which means that, you know, kids aren't going to get flavored milk. Kids aren't going to get pizza and fried foods. And, you know, they're going to get healthful, really prepared food, freshly prepared, just like Jamie Oliver did, okay? Which is going to be a challenge until you get, you know, the Gordon Foods and the Cisco Foods and the big providers to get on board. And they say they will. They say if the market's there, they will. And I think in America, I think that's, you know, capitalist way. I think that they probably will. You know, I don't think it's going to take until the economy comes around because it's already started, and it's spreading, and there's more people that are realizing that this is critically important to them and their families. So no, I don't. I think for the people, even the people that don't have a lot of money, they are realizing it too. And there's fortunately so much more on the media that, you've got, Dr. Oz, Sanjay Gupta, you've got these people that, are very popular now with, in the mainstream media. It used to be Dr. Andrew Weil and, Deepak Chopra. I mean, they're still out there too. I think people are starting to realize that what these people are saying makes a lot of sense. Kids should get some basic nutrition education because I think if they really understood what was going on in their bodies, that they might have a different perspective. And you got to start when they're young.